What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Big Football Guys. I'm here with my two guys, as always, Devin and Tony, and we're gonna sit here and reflect and talk about everything that happened in week 12. Week 12, right?
Yes, sir. Week 12.
Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, there was a
Week 12.
those Thursday games were not that fun to watch. I don't know about you guys, but that was, especially for me on the Thursday night game, that was tough. That was a tough watch. My Seahawks got obliterated, but I kind of was expecting that going into it. So, but that being said, Thanksgiving itself was actually pretty good. So I'll say again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone who celebrated, and I hope you guys enjoyed that day because it was all right. It was an all right Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
That was your guys'
What did you guys think of the Black Friday game? That was new for this year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't watch.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I honestly didn't watch it either, but it looked like it wasn't worth watching anyway. So
yeah, that's how I felt.
Like I said, me working for all these games and like me not having it off, I tuned in, I tuned out. I looked at scores of games, like because like at the end of the day I'm at work. If I put my screen on my phone and just like have the game in my ear, like what, not a big deal. But I tuned into the Cowboys game and I was like, oh, not worth it. And I tuned into the Lions game, I was like, oh shit, surprising, not worth it. And then the Thursday night game I watched more of. And then same thing, Friday, I tuned in like the third quarter, I think. And I was like, oh, not worth it.
Yeah,
and
none of them are really good games, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah. But it's like, it's shitty. And like, again, all we're on the heels of is like, I don't know you guys, I didn't watch Monday Night Football. Like, I'm very happy I did not spend time watching Monday Night Football this week. That was not a lot to watch. At least from the score.
I can't even remember who played.
It was Vikings and the Bears. It was
I watched that game. I had DJ Moore in fantasy, so I was watching, but I needed like 50 points and he didn't come through.
No. I was playing against Justin Fields, and I needed him to score under 28, so I was invested in that game a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I won.
Very good.
But I haven't told anyone yet this. I had a dream last night that the Lions beat the Dolphins in the Super Bowl.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. The Lions,
and
I mean, they did just lose, right? But
yeah, they lost. But I think it's subliminally because I was listening to Pat McAfee on Monday, and he was talking to Aiden Hutchinson about he was talking to him, I think, at the Michigan game or something like that. And he was like, oh, it ebbs and flows, whatever. Like, week to week, don't worry about it type thing. And I think that's just because Aiden, I guess, was in my head because of that. But anyways, in my dream, I was on the field and there's people celebrating. I was like, holy shit, it's a Super Bowl. And I saw like Aiden Hutchinson run by and he was celebrating. And I was like, wait, who did they win the Super Bowl? Like, who won? Like, what's going on here? And then I looked around and I was like, oh, it's the Dolphins. It's Mike McDaniels. And then I was like, wait, the Lions won? Like, Hutchinson celebrating, Daniels looks sad. And then I figured it out in my dream. I was like, oh my God, I'm on the field. The Lions just beat the freaking Dolphins in the Super Bowl. And I woke up, I was like, you know what? It's not, I get where my brain came up with this, but I was like, it could happen.
Yeah, it's not far-fetched at all. Who's the one seed in the AFC? Is it the Dolphins? No, is it?
It's the Ravens.
Is it the Ravens still?
Yeah.
Good for them. I like the Ravens. But the Lions aren't too far off. They're what, the 2 seed behind Philly?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's not like that far-fetched,
Yeah, I think they're still the 2 seed. I was going to say it might be a tie right now. There's a tie at that 2 seed spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, can I just get your guys' input on something real quick?
Sure.
Yep. So on Thursday night, the Seahawks played at home and they wore their action green jerseys. What do you guys think about those?
Dude, I'm a fan, man. I grew up in the bright, loud green Nike football era, so they will always have a special place in my heart. They are bright. They do hurt your eyes a little bit when you're watching the game, but I'm a fan. I like them.
Okay, cool.
Tony?
I am not.
Not a fan?
I had a feeling.
I remember growing up playing Madden, looking at the Madden. I think Madden was 7 had Sean Alexander on the cover.
Yeah.
Right.
Might have been 06.
Yeah.
I know my Madden
no, 06 was Donovan McNabb.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So gotta be 7. Anyway, so I remember looking at the little bit of green on his shoulder pads and stuff on the cover and it not making a lot of sense. And I remember putting on those green uniforms with the Seahawks in that game. And they're just, and graphics related and stuff, they were ugly. You know what I mean? And as a kid, I made my judgment on the uniforms and it not making sense that the Seahawks had green. And I've stuck pretty true to that ever since. I would much rather see the wolf gray uniforms or all green or sorry, a wolf gray, a navy, or a white.
Yeah.
Than the action green.
Yeah.
Those are cool, yeah. They definitely have some good uniform combos.
I was sad when they took away the wolf grays, but I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. I know people don't like them, and I'm kind of in between. I like them sometimes, and other times I don't like them. It's kind of weird, but yeah. I just wanted to see what you guys were thinking because we had a primetime game, so they were out in front of everyone.
It just kind of reminds me of Color Rush when Jags, and like Color Rush was half good, half bad. It was like half if you got a good alternate color, it looked sick. You had like the Jets, you had their green. Or you had someone else, like the Colts, had an all white. But then if you were like the Jags and you had like a mustard colored uniform and it was like disgusting. And it still reminds me a bit of like the last like bit of that Color Rush where it's just like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the forgotten Color Rush jersey is the Dolphins, the orange ones that they wore like that one time.
Did they?
No one. Yeah, they had all orange ones, and no one ever talks about that.
I can see Jarvis Landry in my head.
Yeah, they were not. I didn't like those ones. Let's see them. Tony's on the 1s and 2s.
Holy.
Yep.
Oh wow, they're a lot different than I remember. Yeah, there's the Jarvis Landry image in my head though, but yeah, they're a lot lighter than they look darker in the promo picture than in the actual game.
Looks like a Tropicana advertisement uniform or something.
Yeah. Sunny D.
Sunny D. That's the one. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, it wasn't good.
That's edited. That's just a white jersey someone did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can even see like this photo, if it loads, looks a lot more Tropicana, where this one looks more like Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Broncos do still have their all orange ones, don't they? They're like their throwback ones. Yeah,
what are they called? The snow cap, or what is it called?
Yeah, the helmets are the snow cap helmets because they got the whiteout helmets.
Yeah.
And then it's just their throwback uniforms that they wear, which is their all orange ones. Because would you say that the orange ones are their Color Rush uniforms, or they're all blue ones are their Color Rush uniforms? I don't remember what they wore back when they did the Color Rush.
I can't remember. There's a picture out there of like all 32 teams in their Color Rush.
Yeah.
I can see the graphic in my head, but that's it.
I mean, we're here. Let's do it.
I didn't mean for us to spiral here. It was just.
Oh, it is what it is. Part of the fun.
All right. So Seahawks had a green, but it's not action green.
What do you mean?
Is that not? That's
the same one. It's just got some fancy. Yeah, it's just got some fancy editing.
Okay.
That's the same one. It looks a little less, I don't know, slime green there than it does in person.
It doesn't show up like that on the TV for sure.
No, especially not.
I found the graphic. Game. I found the graphic of all 32 Color Rush teams or uniforms.
Let's see. Is that the Commanders?
Let's go through the Commanders. Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Mustard Commanders. Although look at Trent. Trent is still on Redskins. He's wearing the old Lunar Beast. He's got the old DTAC 5s.
Yeah, those are the days, man.
Bills are sick. I like the Bills.
Love the Bills. The Bills were nice.
The Ghost? Tyrod Taylor? He took him to the playoffs that year, probably. Yep. That was that year. What a beast.
Kelsey's young.
Yeah.
Look at Kelsey's hair.
Young Killer Trav.
That's back when he was doing Catching Kelsey.
That's his nickname, bro.
I know.
Did you guys ever see Catching Kelsey?
No, but I know what it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Catching
I didn't realize I didn't realize it was an actual thing. I thought it was like I thought it was just a funny thing they did for social media or something.
Bro. He's a dog, bro. You think he just got Taylor Swift?
I actually like these.
Though I hated those. Those are probably my least favorite ones. Those all yellow Rams ones.
I don't like those.
Garbage. Get them out of here.
Cowboys were like pretty much their Thanksgiving. All white was clean.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still got those ones.
Hate them.
Vikings
still got those. Yep.
Clean.
I like those.
Patriots
we
were
could
nice.
skip all 32 of these.
Oh.
Patriots, their color rushes just turned into their permanent uniforms now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh, my favorites. Ooh. Those are my all-time favorites.
See, now
the White
we're
Giants?
talking. That's what
right there.
That is basically that. That's so hard, bro. That was what a time
Golden
that was.
era.
OBJ, Giants color rush.
Oh, the Niners. I forgot they had black ones.
About the Niners.
Yeah, I forgot about those ones.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
I like those.
Chargers, kind of throwbacky.
Chargers.
They have something similar now.
Yeah.
Oh, they're like a royal blue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Titans got
Chargers
the
have so many colors, dude.
All powder.
I like those.
Yeah.
What else? All right, this is taking forever. Let's just do this quick. Jets I liked.
Yeah.
Panthers not bad. Bears is just whatever.
The Buccaneers stink. I hated those.
Browns is just the Browns now.
I like the Browns. I did like theirs.
Who is that player? Is that Gary Bardenage? Who is that? Who did they use for that picture?
I got no idea. Couldn't tell you.
Like, I know they were bad, but like to not even recognize, like most of these players are like very recognizable, but to not even know who that is, crazy.
These are the ones.
The infamous.
Ew, those are nasty.
Ew. Those were bad.
Is that Alan Hearns? I can't tell.
I remember though wearing those against the Titans, and it was that weird uniform color matchup of like the powder blues against that kind of mustard gold color. It was bad.
Yeah,
all bad.
All right, well, that was a flashback to color rush talk, I guess is what we'll call that. But moving on to our current stuff that we've actually got going on in the NFL now. Some little bit of news here, and one of the ones that popped off right away that we all noticed immediately was Stefon Diggs was wearing a Schutt F7, and I don't know how I feel about it, because that right there is the Diggs that we know and love in a Speed Flex. This is the new one.
Yeah, this is weird. Stefon Diggs warmed up in the Speed Flex. You guys see a picture of him wearing his usual Riddell Speed Flex setup, the helmet he's been wearing forever. I mean,
that was in warm-ups?
Going back to... So, yeah, in warm-ups, he wore the Speed Flex.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, I don't know what... Like, he's been wearing the Speed Flex for forever. Like, you go back to the Minneapolis Miracle where he threw his helmet. That was a Speed Flex. He's been in the Speed Flex for forever. And then before that, it was the Speed. I've never seen Diggs in a Schutt helmet. And then, for whatever reason, this week he pulled up in a Schutt F7 come game time. What do you guys think? Why do you guys think he was in an F7? Was it related to the weather? Because it wasn't good weather, but like, it doesn't make any sense. Why did he do this in the middle of the season?
I couldn't even begin to tell you why players do this, because it happens sometimes where you will see a player switch from a helmet to helmet in the middle of it. Like you said, you guys did the before I came on the podcast, you were talking about Sam Howell switching out of his Axiom to the Speed Flex, but that was related to the visor and stuff like that. This is just this is different. I don't know.
I can't come up with like a legit reason to why he would have switched, unless the visor was like stuck on to the face mask or something, but that wouldn't happen. I can't think of a reason he would just switch to the F7 for game time in the middle of the season. It's week 12. He's worn a Speed Flex for like 5 years in a row, and then some random week 12 Sunday night, Monday night, whatever, he switches into an F7. It doesn't make any sense.
Could it be anything based on his Speed Flex and the weather and the rain, depending on his model of Speed Flex related to like the pad freezing up? Because like there's, for example, there's the Precision Fit Diamond. They have different types of padding. Some use air, some use the 3D printed structure. I don't know if it would be that though. I don't. Could it be waterlogged somehow? I don't know. It is funny though. Literally, all of us instantly. First time I saw it, it just looked so funny in the group chat.
Yep.
All saw it exactly.
It looks so wrong on him. I can't really describe it. So many people, wear the F7, it looks fine, but Diggs, he should not be in the F7. It just looks wrong on him. It looks so bad.
There's a list of like wide receivers that wear, a speed flex, and they are speed flex guys. You don't to me that list is Stefon Diggs, Deebo Samuel, and DK Metcalf. Those are like my top 3 when I think wide receivers wearing speed flexes, because
I didn't go DK. I went CD.
CD.
I had CD Lamb in my head. I had AJ Brown in my head.
Yeah, AJ Brown. Yep.
Yeah. Wait, there's somebody else.
We could rattle them off. Didn't CD switch from an F7 to?
Yeah, he wore an F7 in college, a little bit with the Cowboys, and then switched to the speed flex.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're so stunned about it.
It's just weird. Like, it doesn't make any sense for him to switch week 12 in the middle of this. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. My only thought is like,
but an F7
speed flex, like he just lost it.
Someone
like he gave it to the equipment.
A Philly fan jumped the fence and took off with it.
Yeah, maybe somebody like. My only thought is he went to give the helmet to the equipment staff to take off that tinted visor because you can't wear that in the game, and they lost it or they broke it or it was stolen. I can't think of another reason why he would come out in the F7. It just doesn't make sense.
If that's the case, I think there would have to be an F7 on the sideline with his name on it as a backup then. Right?
Yeah. I don't know, man. This is really puzzling. I can't wait to see him come out next week and see if he's still in the F7 or if he found his speed flex.
This is an inside job from Shut. No, they're doing it on purpose because they knew people were gonna talk about it.
Shut sent a rep down to steal his speed flex and force him into an F7 for this primetime game. Could you imagine?
Yeah, they practically held him down and forced it on his head before he went out on his first series.
That'd be crazy. But
you guys are going to get us in trouble.
Just looked wrong.
How are we going to get us in trouble?
I'm going to get a text after this.
Shut. We are so sorry.
Do I need a bleep?
We didn't mean it.
We didn't mean it. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's be real.
It's all hypothetical, guys. We're just hanging out.
Yes. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Although we don't have on our list here of things to talk about. How did we forget that this happened? I'm going to share my screen really quick. We didn't even remember to put this on our thing. And this is like our world that people were diving into, like with questions that like we are the source on. How did we not put on our thing to talk about Christian McCaffrey's helmet malfunction and everyone losing their mind over nothing?
Oh yeah.
I honestly
the 2 screwdrivers to the side of the head.
Yeah, I still don't know anything about it. I saw the picture, but I didn't really get it just looks like they're replacing the face mask or something. Like it didn't do anything for me. What's the story?
That's what it was.
You guys know?
It's so stupid. At least from our perspective. And it's like people don't know this world, so they're like, "Oh, what's happening?" Right? Here, let me get a helmet.
I saw the graphic, but I didn't really know anything. I didn't know the story behind it.
Okay, so basically all that happened is like you can see the photos of like the screwdrivers on the side of his head, right?
Yeah.
Pretty simple stuff. But what literally all it is was after Christian scored a touchdown, the back bumper on his helmet here. So this bumper, the Riddell, this one says Riddell underneath it. That wraps around. It's connected through these pop rivets, through the padding into the liner. This whole piece came off. Pop rivets failed, wherever these rivet type things are. And this whole thing came off. So on the back of his helmet where it would be white was just more shell. So they had to get him a new helmet to basically fix it on the sideline. And then all that's happening in that photo is because he likes the old style Riddell hard cup chin strap with the 3 I'll show you again. He just likes this chin strap. Old school Riddell, extra deep, hard cup chin strap.
Just a super standard one.
Standard. Not even standard anymore because they've like upgraded these in like recent. But basically he just likes that chin strap. It's whatever. All those screwdrivers, like people think they're like attaching the face mask or whatever. They're not attaching oh Jesus. I don't do that all the time. Sometimes I do. But the face mask attaches with the quick releases, right? These little things here. Those are things there. It's not the face mask because they're turning screws. All they're doing is they're adding that chin strap with his Riddell strap locks. So see on the side here, there's the 2 screws for the chin strap to kind of slip under. That's all they're doing. They're literally just taking his normal chin strap, putting it on a new Speed Flex, and just tightening the screws on the side so his chin strap fits.
Yeah.
It's like standard stuff. Now to us, it's standard, and it's like, oh, they're just putting his chin strap on, and like we can't see it from the angle that it's putting on the strap locks to know that like, oh, like they're using the wrong tool to switch out the face mask or anything. But like also the face mask he uses as an SF2EGSW, it's like the most standard face mask that you can use or get. Like, so his helmet, they probably just grabbed another Speed Flex, pumped some air in the side to make it fit his head, put his chin strap on it, and sent him back on the field within, by the time, again, scored the touchdown to next drive. Quickest switch. But yeah, there was all these posts about like, oh, like look at like what Christian's going through. He's a robot. Yeah. Like getting his side of his head fixed and stuff. And I was like, give me a fucking break. Like, yeah,
people were making a really kind of oddly big deal about it. The memes were funny too.
Like I said, I saw it and I didn't even like think twice. That's why I didn't put it in here. But I guess a lot of people don't understand, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and like in our world, like I didn't bat an eye. I see two screwdrivers and I instantly know they're fixing the strap locks and not anything else. Especially after me and Evan both saw the back bumper missing when he scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
And so like it just made sense. I was like, oh, they grabbed him a new helmet, threw his chin strap on it, and he's good. But everyone else was like, oh, like look at this guy. He's a fucking robot. And I was like, shut up. Like
it's the Iron Man suit up scene.
Yeah, like literally I was like, oh my God, like. But again, people don't get the world, and like I get it. We're not gonna shit on people for not understanding, like, especially when the fact in the photo, like you can't even see the strap lock, you just see the screwdriver. So it's like, unless you know this stuff, but you know, like sometimes like broadcasts and stuff with little things where they make it into like this big spectacle, and it's frustrating.
Well, with a game like that, they had to look to the sidelines for something entertaining, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, so for those of you who don't know, that's what was happening in that picture. Okay.
Yeah.
That's if you don't have that information, right? That was all that was happening. And speaking of helmets and face masks and whatnot, we got some more news on that side of the helmets. Brian Burns is back in his Spider-Man mask.
Yes, he is. So a couple weeks back, Brian Burns stopped wearing this Spider-Man mask because we assumed it wasn't SFIE certified. So basically the NFL is like, yeah, you can't wear this anymore. But he's wearing it again. So I can't tell. Is this any different from his original mask? Or is this just the same mask?
No, it's the same mask. You can see the way these flow from one into there. It's identical. There's no vision difference. There's no.
I didn't know if that vision window was a little bit wider than it was before. I don't know. It looks different with that visor on it too. Is that a shock visor, by the way?
Yeah,
that is a shock visor.
That's sweet.
Burns has always been a little sneaky. There's been times where he's even had a shock visor with Oakley tabs where they just like cut him to fit.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, they've done some cheeky stuff with him.
See that in college a lot.
Okay, so this style. Let's see. Oh, is this our video? Oh, this is our video. Is this our video? Oh, this is our video.
Probably, yeah. Oh, wow, it's me.
So they're
sick.
Yeah. Thanks for us. Yeah, entirely.
Follow us on TikTok, please.
Yeah, like it's the two bars. They flow into it. Like, yeah. See, actually, see how this one goes here. This one. Nope. Never mind. That's identical. It's the mask.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you guys have any thoughts on how he's wearing it again, or if it was ever banned in the first place, or what do you guys have as far as theories? What?
I got one.
Let him have it.
My theory is that we uncorked the bottle of SEI face masks, SEI verified face masks, and said, what is the NFL going to do now that Jalen Ramsey is now wearing a custom face mask in an F7, even though it's technically not custom because on the SpeedFlex it's not. So if they're going to make everyone take off their customs for under the guise of not being SEI verified, what are they going to do with Jalen when he comes out in one that's not, and kind of pokes a hole in the rule? And they haven't gotten mad at him for it. They've gotten mad at him for a lot of other stuff like his cleats and stuff, but not his face mask. So maybe guys are pushing back a bit. Maybe that's why it's kind of coming and going, is they're seeing like they don't, they're kind of waiting for the NFL to come back and tell them to take it off again, and then they can go like, what about him? that guy that you show constantly every single week and like make millions off of advertising, and you're not making them. Or any of these other guys. Like, I would love to see the pushback from, because like we know the NFL does stuff like this all the time. If they push back on some of these rule inconsistencies related to stature and stuff, like, I'm good with it.
Yeah. I mean, either way, I'm glad to see him back in it. I mean, I talked about it either last podcast or the one before. Just, I love this face mask. It's such a key part of Brian Burns' look, and it looks so cool. So I'm excited to see him back in it. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
The whole face mask thing can kind of go either way for me. Like, I notice when people are wearing custom face masks, and then, I personally don't get too crazy about custom face masks, but whenever the league is cracking down on people and taking them away for whatever reason, whether they think it's a safety issue or it's a money thing on like a monopoly, I think that's ridiculous, and I think that's where they need to draw the line, because I don't really see the issue with it, and I think the players are starting to, I don't know, in my opinion, I think the players are starting, like Tony said, to kind of poke and see what they can get away with at this point.
Well, good. More power to them.
Yeah, I got a good thing. If I can find a photo really quick, I would love to poke another hole in the NFL's.
Tear them down.
Okay, so I don't know if I'll find a photo. I'm going to show you something that I saw, and I didn't tell you guys about, but I've been terrible with my switches this week. See if I can find it. There was a player on the Colts. Getting back to this whole, by the way, mouth guards.
Oh boy,
he was a DB. I'm pretty sure. I think he was wearing in the 20s.
You damn narc. You and the mouth guards.
Yeah, I know. I'm the mouth guard narc. But I'm just we're poking holes in the NFL, like making random rules to just like. Okay. Oh, I wish I could find it.
Yeah, and then caring one week and not caring another week, or just skipping certain people. Privileges.
Please. All right. I can't find it.
What is the deal? What happened?
There was a DB on the Colts, or a receiver, someone skill position. I think his number was in the 20s. He was wearing a yellow mouth guard, a yellow soother, and then he had a second yellow soother back in the air vents in his speed flex, hanging out the back of it.
Oh, I gotta find this.
I couldn't. Look for it. See if you can find it. But yeah, dude, when I saw that, I was like, oh, like, if you find a photo, I'll put it on Instagram. Easy.
Okay, little do you know, he just thought he lost it, so he went to the equipment staff and he's like, "Give me another one."
Yeah, literally,
it's just sticking out the back of his helmet.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen Brian Branch on the Lions?
Yeah, he's got the green one.
If you look at his helmet, yeah, he's got a green mouth guard stuck in the back of his helmet as well.
Yeah, I think he does that intentionally. Like, I think that's someone. I actually saw. It might have been a comment or something somewhere. Someone was talking about how they think that's like a look and they like it. Like, it's going to be a trend. The putting the mouthpieces in the back of the helmet right there and having them hang out.
In high school, I had mine in my ear hole when I wasn't using it.
Whoa, it's a weird look if that's what he's going for.
I've got this whole nothing loads again, so I can't see whatever you're showing, but I'm sure it's wonderful.
Nice. It's showing Brian lines.
Yeah, it's got the strap too. Like, it's not even just the mouth guard; he's got the strap hanging out too. Also, do you guys remember Diami Brown? He used to have just two mouth guards hanging from his face mask. He might still do it.
There was a dude last week that was doing that.
I see that a lot nowadays.
Got it.
Diami Brown. What do you got?
What in the world?
Wait, what did you got?
Okay, let's go to Getty.
It's the photo of the Colts player with the
Nick Cross.
I thought he was on the Rams. Yeah, that's weird.
Man's name is not searchable, apparently.
Some of them, yeah, Getty's kind of picky about that stuff. You have to, like, if you go by newest, you might have more luck. Or you just can't, actually. You're right. Or if you type in Colts, maybe. They're really picky. They, like, don't show you NFL pictures unless you really look for them.
Might have been a one-off. One here.
Yeah.
That's not last week, though.
Yeah, there's not a lot of pictures of them on here.
Yellow in practice.
Yeah, no, he's got yellow all the time, but...
Yeah, it was another yellow soother in the back vent.
That's weird, bro. Yeah. That's weird.
It's a thing. People are doing it now.
Just so you know, NFL. Go get
watch this dude. Go get this dude. John Tony's snitching on his own favorite team. This is crazy.
Does that mean you're done with them? Are you over the Colts this year?
No. Well, I'm kind of in a weird spot with the Colts where I don't know if it's like, do we have a good season? And that way there's like hope of like, oh, next year when Richardson's back, he's the missing piece, then we go on a run. But also at the same time, I'm kind of like, I'd rather us just do really shitty. And then at the same time, like, I'd rather us do shitty so that way we just get a high draft pick.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, what do you want? Would you rather... I don't know. It's like the same feeling when we had Rivers. I remember when we like made it to the playoffs, I was like, oh, sick. We're going to be one and done in the playoffs and like have a mid-round draft pick. And like, no one gave a shit about the Colts losing in the playoffs. Like, it was just a wild card exit. Like, congrats. We made it with Philip Rivers. And then,
yeah,
you know, I don't know. It's no man's land.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping the Giants would not win any more football games, but they've won 2 in a row and just set our franchise back like 5 years. But, oh well. What are you going to do?
I'll tell you what we're going to do, Devin. We're going to talk about your favorite segment right now, and that's Cleat Heat. Let's get you guys out of the disparaging...
It's Cleat Heat time?
Let's get you guys out of the disparaging area of your football teams hurting your souls.
Yeah, let's talk about some Cleat Heat, all right? Honestly, this week wasn't that impressive.
I'm slow.
It's okay.
I can't
no worries.
See what you're doing, but
Devin's behind anyways.
Yeah, dude, my reaction time this week between switching from windowed is just...
I mean, it's a weird week. We just came off Thanksgiving, you know. We're just kind of, I mean, you didn't, so...
Everyone's slow after Thanksgiving. No, just use it as an excuse. Just take it and run with it.
Tony. Yeah, run. What are you doing? Take the
excuse. I got some new DMs on the left.
You're coming off a cold.
Yeah, you're sick, dude. Yeah. Either way, Cleat Heat,
sick like these cleats.
Facts. These cleats are sick, guys. So we got Kassan Nixon here. He's in a pair of Nike Dunks. These are really similar to the ones we saw Christian Kirk wear last week, rather. You've got the yellow, you've got the elephant print. These are really clean. This guy's had some really quiet, like, cleat game all season long. So shout out to him. You guys rock with these. I know you guys were huge fans of Kirk's last week, so I assume you will like these as well.
I do like those. I think the elephant print looks really cool. It doesn't necessarily go with the uniform, but it's a cool accent to have on there because the elephant print is known for being that gray color. So you can't really, if you were to mess with it and make it like green or white, it would just look weird.
Yeah, it'd be a little tricky.
Yeah, I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
When I see the photo of the cleats by itself, I think Steelers.
Yeah. That just looks like something like George Pickens would wear for sure.
Yeah.
That's who comes
to
mind.
Those aren't based off of a shoe, are they? Like a specific
Nike. Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a colorway like that for Jordan or anything like that.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah. I agree though.
Yeah.
Steelers look.
Kassan Nixon, Kassim. I don't know. This guy, number 25 for the Packers. Cool cleats.
I want to say is it Keyshawn Nixon?
Keyshawn, that makes sense. Yeah.
I think it's Keyshawn. Yep.
Yeah. So next up, we got Keenan Allen, LA Chargers in those all blue, royal blue, navy blue uniforms. He pulled out those LeBron 4s. We saw him wear them in practice last week, and then this time he pulled them out in the game. Kind of weird. They don't really match the uniform, but when you're wearing something that cool, I think it just works. You know, we've talked about the LeBron 4 a lot the past 2 podcasts, so I'm not going to waste too much time on it. But they look pretty good. You guys rock with these?
Yeah. Silver. Yep. It works.
Yeah, not too bad. It's clean. Let me know when you swipe, because I am behind.
We did.
Okay, sweet. Next up, we got Quincy Williams, New York Jets. This guy is a frequent flyer on the Cleat Heat lists, and here he is again in Week 12. He has like a pair of. It's kind of hard to see. They're like, what are they? They're like Jordan 1, Louis Vuitton, Off-White. Like, he just hit all the demographics. Like, he just hit everything. It's everything in an all-black cleat with the all-black Black Friday Jets uniforms. It's cool. It's a good look. You guys probably like them. I'm not a huge fan, but like I know they're cool, so I put them in here. You guys, what do you think?
Are they when they're doing this stuff with like Louis V and stuff like? So I kind of have two questions. One, do they have like the Off-White is kind of just inspiration at this point, right? Just putting like the word cleat on the side of it and stuff. There's nothing else that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you put whatever words in quotes and that makes it Off-White.
Pretty much. Then like that tag as well.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just that style.
Okay. Yeah, the little green, and then also, are they like cannibalizing like Louis V bags to make this stuff?
See, that I'm not super sure about. In the past, I know Coda. These are done by Coda Customs, just so you guys know. But in the past, I know Coda has like cut up like Louis Vuitton bags and stuff to make this work.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still doing that, but I mean, as far as I can tell, it looks authentic. But it might be just as well to cut up fake bags. You know, if I was doing it, I would just cut up fake ones.
Oh, so get fake bags that just go to China. Get the supplier.
Yeah. They might be authentic because, I mean, we talked about a little bit how much he charges for cleats last week. And if he's charging prices like that, it might be because, you know, it's authentic Louis Vuitton leather. But I don't know for sure unless I have it in my hand, which I do not.
It also could have been the thing where the athlete provided him with the material. You know, say he had like an old wallet or an old bag. He said, hey, can you turn this into a pair of cleats?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these dudes got money to burn, so they might have done that.
All right, next up.
Next up, we got DJ Moore. We talked about him earlier. He was on my fantasy team. Needed like 50 points from him. Didn't get it. Too bad. But he wore a pair of Nike Dunks, and they have like this cow. Trying to think the right way to say it. Pattern? Cow pattern?
Yeah. Looks like a pair of Ben and Jerry's.
That's what I was going to say. It reminds me of the Ben & Jerry's Chunky Dunks. That's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
Just in Bears colorway. So, I think they're pretty cool. I was a fan, you know?
Yeah.
I like these a lot. They're unique. I feel like we haven't really seen this too much. So, something a little bit different.
Yeah. I like when they get a little... I like whenever it's not just a color swap. I like when they actually use a cool pattern and stuff like that. So whenever you do like a cow print or like a camo or the elephant print, I'm a big fan of that. Those will get me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those are cool.
They're clean. I'm a fan. What we got? We slide.
Christian Watson.
There we go. So next up, we got Christian Watson. So I think I've put these cleats on Cleat Heat in the past, but like I mentioned earlier, there wasn't a ton of stuff out there this week. These are custom pair by Coda Customs again. And this is a pair of cleats inspired by the Diamond Turf 96 football cleat. They are white with like a neonish yellowish green, which kind of works with these Packers uniforms. But I like these a lot. I think they're really cool. I think I already talked about them once, but I'm still a big fan of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's still cool. Don't love the metallic-y of it. It's kind of like lime.
Yeah. The color and the texture is definitely a little wonky.
Yeah.
But, yeah. What do you think, Evan?
There's a lot going on there. I don't know. I don't like how there's like a strap, and I don't like how I don't know. I'm not a big fan of those. I do like the metallic-y look, which is kind of funny.
You do?
It's like the opposite. Yeah, it's like the opposite of what you're saying.
Fair enough. Are we still showing?
Nick Bosa.
Oh, yeah, Nick Bosa. So he wore these last year, I think. But it's super simple. It's a white and gold pair of Jordan 1s. That works so good with these all-white 49ers uniforms. I'm not sure if this is true, but I believe these are Jordan PEs that were initially made for Jimmy Garoppolo back when he was on Team Jordan and back when he was a 49er. I think that's where these come from. I don't think Jordan is making Bosa PEs because he usually just wears the retail Chicago's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's broke these out a couple of times, and like I said, I'm pretty sure these are Jimmy G PEs, but I'm not sure. Either way, white with like that patent leather gold is incredible. These look amazing. Do you guys agree?
Yeah. I think if you're playing on a team like the Niners or the Saints, a team that does have a metallic gold in their uniform, I think you should use every opportunity you can to wear as much chrome gold accessories as possible.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And those work really well.
Yeah, they're heat. Big fan.
It is cool to see that. Yeah, you caught this. I caught this too when I was watching the game because, like you said, like Nick Bosa's stuff is like the trade decals, thigh pads is all he does. Other than that, it's like helmet, doesn't care how it looks. He does the trench. It's taking a lot of heat, but he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
White super bads. They're a retail pair. You can go to Dick's Sporting Goods and pick them up.
Yep.
And then cleats, he's always just worn, high top Jordan 1s in the Chicago colorway, just red and black. So yeah, when we were watching the game, I noticed he's gold. It was nice.
Yeah. So when he puts in a little bit of effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those like high tier athletes that isn't wearing like high tier athlete gear, if you know what I mean. Like he doesn't seem to really care about his appearance. He just wants to get out there and sack the quarterback, and that is it.
I just want to sack the quarterback, man. It's not that easy.
Exactly. Insert that clip. Poor Gino. Did Gino get sacked? Probably, right?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah.
That's all right. He'll be all right. All right, up next, we've got Jalen Hurts. These are pretty fire. They're a Kelly Green pair of Jordan 12s. I mean, Jalen Hurts has been on these lists all year long, and that's just they're so clean. They're so simple. They just look so good, especially with the Kelly Green uniforms. These are awesome. I mean, Evan's going to talk about them a little bit later, so I'm not going to talk about them too much. But they're pretty fire.
Mm-hmm.
For a guy who just is the most straight to the point, no emotion, just plays ball every single week, straight faced, he tries very hard in the swag department of putting on, nice cleats because he's a Jordan guy. He tries when it comes to looking good. You can tell he tries, and you see it in his pregame outfits, his postgame outfits. You see it on the field. And it's just funny with like how his attitude is about the game and his emotions and stuff like that. But he's up there in terms of definitely one of the drippiest players in the league, I think.
Yeah, hands down, absolutely. Especially in the quarterback position, he's probably the drippiest guy in football at QB.
Yeah, I would say so.
I love Kyler Murray. I love K1, but Jalen Hurts with the Jordan deal is probably
he's dethroned him.
Yeah, tragic. Poor Kyler. But yeah. All right. On to the next one. What do we got? We got Tutu Atwell.
Oh, someone actually wore these, huh?
Got some
retails. So I don't think I ever thought I'd put Tutu Atwell on a Cleat Heat post, but here he is. He pulled out the Nightmare Before Christmas Adidas Addy Zeros that kind of dropped, a couple weeks ago now? They're like a Jack Skellington inspired. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
I'm not much of a movie guy. So
is it? Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Regardless, it's a unique pair of cleats. I wanted to throw some Adidas on here because I don't want it to just be Jordans and Nikes every single week. And these fit right in. So I was a fan of these. They're cool cleats. I actually just got my hands on a pair, so expect some content on them soon. They're pretty cool. I'll show you guys all the cool details whenever that video drops. But yeah, shout out to Atwell. These are pretty cool.
Yeah, I like those. I like how unique they are. I wouldn't expect an NFL player to wear those, to be honest. So the fact that someone was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, Adidas has been killing it with their Pixar stuff. It's really cool. It's unique.
Yeah.
It's definitely a cool collab.
Yeah. So up next, we've got Jeff Wilson of the Miami Dolphins. And these are pretty cool. So these are, I think they're just a pair of Jordan 1 lows, but they're inspired, again, by like Off-White. It's kind of hard to tell, and I couldn't find any like up-close pictures of them. But they're, orange and white. They look really cool. Super clean, super subtle. And yeah, I thought they're pretty cool.
Yeah, right there on the left cleat, you can see the kind of that off-white. I don't know what you'd call that, like a description or whatnot.
Yeah, the script. Yeah,
that's a little giveaway right there. Those are cool. I'm a big fan of the off-white stuff. Kind of similar to what I said last week about the Chrome of Hearts with OBJ. It's been done 1,000 times already, but for some reason, this one I don't get tired of seeing every week. And you do usually see this one every week.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, honestly, I am starting to get a little bit tired of it because, I mean, we've seen it twice just in this Cleat Heat alone, but the simplicity and how well and how subtle these go with the all-white Miami uniforms, they get a pass in my book. And then same thing with Quincy Williams. The all-black, super subtle, gets another pass. I thought they're pretty cool. So that should bring us to our final Cleat Heat, which hopefully you guys are seeing. You should be. So these are a throwback, man. So these are a pair of Supreme Louis Vuitton inspired, what are these, Nike Vapor Edge 360 Pro 2s? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's what those
usually
look like.
wears the Untouchable Pro 3s, so that's why I was confused. But dude, this brings me back to like the mid 2010s when Supreme was like everything and everyone was obsessed with Supreme and the red box logo and the Louis Vuitton print, and then, you know, OBJ wore that red Supreme arm sleeve, and it kind of died off. So seeing it, you know, come back like this, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I was a fan. They look good with these throwback Falcons uniforms as well.
I think the custom Supreme stuff is kind of what paved the way to basically what we were talking about just before, paved the way to the custom off-white streetwear stuff that we see on the field now, the Louis Vuitton kind of stuff, because it wasn't really until Louis Vuitton and Supreme started doing their stuff together that players really took inspiration and tried to put it on their cleats and their gloves, probably more specifically Odell, because he would have been the one who started it.
Yeah, the trendsetter himself. I mean, just the Supreme getting on the field, it really kind of just jump-started this whole new segment of hypebeast football equipment, and it's grown into this crazy thing. You see all sorts of designer stuff on the gridiron these days, you know, Gucci, Supreme, Chrome Hearts, all that cool stuff. You know, it started with this stuff right here.
And Supreme even did, they did their collection with Nike football, didn't they?
Yes, they did a pair of Nike VaporJet 4.0s. I totally forgot about those. I've never had a pair.
I almost got a pair, and I don't remember why I didn't, but I almost pulled the trigger on them because they were a lot cheaper than I thought they were, and I another one of those regrets that I have when it comes to not getting something.
Yeah, they had a red pair and a black pair. What's up, Tony?
What's that, Tony?
So my brother, if he's watching this, he does sometimes, so we'll see.
Hi, Tony's brother.
I can credit him to probably some of the most money I've ever made in a day. So back then, he literally said to me on our couch in our basement when we both lived with my parents, you know, this would be 2016, 17, maybe 2017, maybe. He said to me, you could literally make a shirt that says LINEMAN in the Supreme font and people would buy it. And I was like, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I made it. I put it up. I made a little site. I put it up for sale. And I made a killing in 3 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And what that sparked was, if you watch any of my old videos, I still have I got tons. Here, let's see. All my old school videos, I always used to wear this shirt right here. So this one just had a little LF, my alternate logo. And then on the back, it had the my big logo at the time.
Classic.
And I wore those. I tried to sell them. They sold terrible. I gave up on it. No one cared. No one wants I learned that no one wants a brand with your own logo on it. There's no culture to it.
Yeah.
But the Supreme ones, I was like, oh, that's something. Right. And then after that, I made the Supreme shirts. Those did well. And then in all my videos for years, I started making other designs. So I made this one that said Trench King. Right? I just remember any of this stuff. I had Trench King, I had a Amazon, a Krispy Kreme, a Bass Pro Shops. I had an entire massive line of t-shirts that I made and photoshopped and had. And it was the Supreme thing started something for me, and then it made pretty good little chunk of consistent money through YouTube started adding shopping features and stuff. But then I got hit with a lot of legal stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because all of those companies started to all those companies started to come. So the company I used was called Teespring. Now it's called Spring. They used to come at them to be like, oh, like, there's people using our logos, our NIL basically.
Right.
And so then they were pulling down on my behalf all of my stuff, like, this goes against a company's copyright infringement. And like, dude, my top sellers were my Supreme and my Pornhub. And they got pulled, and I was like, damn, that's a consistent chunk of money every month. And then when we started to go more legit and we turned this into like an actual company with a business number and stuff, I stopped selling all of it because I was like, oh, like maybe I don't do that anymore. But I'm not going to go any further into that. That's all in the past. It's all done. I learned my lesson. Let's just move on.
All right, moving on. Copy that, Captain. Moving on to this new segment that we're going to throw in. A little last second, but I really thought this was a good idea, and this is something that I think we could probably do every single week because, when you're sitting down and watching football, especially, and you're looking at our scope, our lens here, you see a guy wearing something, and you're like, man, that looks really good from head to toe, cleats, gloves, helmets, everything like that. So this is what we're going to call it, just look of the week. And first off, look of the week, we're going to go with Devin's look of the week. Devin, who did you pick for your go-to guy this week?
All right, guys. So my look of the week is a guy I've been a huge fan of looks-wise for several years. He's been on 3 different teams. DeAndre Carter. This guy, every single week, puts it on, and nobody ever talks about it. Let's just quickly go through the setup because it's all good. It's all clean. So first up, this is a pregame photo. So take that into consideration. But up first, we have Riddell Speedflex with the OBJ-style face mask for the Speedflex. We have what appears to be either a 20% Oakley visor or their mirror visor. It's kind of tough to tell.
Looks mirrored to me.
Then, it looks mirrored. And it's pregame, so I assume he's bringing out some extra flair for pregame. And then he's got the black, baggy-ish arm sleeves, gray gloves, which is one of my favorite looks ever. I think gray gloves are so cool. Early in the 2000s, everybody wore gray gloves, and it was fire. And so it's always cool to see. You've got the baggy long sleeve. I think he has custom thigh pads, kind of tough to tell. And then Chrome Hearts, custom painted Nike Vapor Carbon Elite 2014. It's one of the best cleats of all time with some cool custom work. Head to toe, this is fire. There's not a single thing I would change about this setup. Also, one unique thing about DeAndre Carter, he never buckles his left chin strap buckle, ever.
Huh.
So you see it's unbuckled right now. It's always unbuckled.
Weird.
So, yeah, he's if you go, because he played for the Commanders, he played for the Chargers, you go to photos of those when he's on those teams, it's always unbuckled.
I've never noticed that before. I
mean, that's the thing. Nobody really talks about DeAndre Carter, but he has fire cleat game, fire helmet game, fire visor game. It all works so good. I love this dude. I don't know him personally.
I think it's because it's a role. He's a role player, so that's why no one really. Yeah, he's that kind of third guy in the offense.
Slot every once in a while. He caught a good amount of passes for the Chargers, but he's bounced around a lot of teams. He's mostly just a kick returner. But when it comes to drip, DeAndre Carter is up there in my top 5. I do not care. Yeah, it's just so clean. He's great. It's all so clean. And he's got the single digit. It's just fire. So yeah, he's been
wearing number 3 for a while, right?
I think he was number 1 with somebody.
You're probably right.
I can't. DeAndre Carter Chargers.
Well, speaking of number 1, my look of the week was none other than number 1 for the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts himself. I went on about him a little bit last week with the turtleneck thing, but the Kelly Greens, he had an insane performance, 5 touchdowns in the Kelly Greens. He's got the Jordan 12, the custom Kelly Green Jordan 12s on right there. Nice little towel, black hand warmer, and then that awesome Jordan quarterback glove he's wearing on his left hand because, if you guys watched that game, it was soaking wet, and it was a pretty big factor. So everything he did head to toe was great. And obviously he's not wearing his visor like he usually does because it was raining. But that was my look of the week. I thought he nailed it. And I wanted to point out the cleats that he wore with this Kelly Green matchup. I like these ones more than those kind of the gray ones, the wolf gray 11s that he wore last time. Yeah, I thought these was a way better look.
Yeah, those are my favorite he's worn so far.
Yeah, he pulled those out at the right time, and got me. He pretty much single-handedly won me my fantasy week. So shout out Jalen Hurts.
Nice.
Sounds about right.
All right, I'm last.
Tony's last.
Mine. When I think Thanksgiving means Cowboys. Cowboys throwbacks. And so I went with the Cowboys. That's like when we just said we're going to do this, I was like, oh, it's got to be someone on the Cowboys. I was thinking like Micah Parsons, all this kind of stuff. Then I was looking, I was like, you know what? Like, it's got to be Dak. And the reason it's got to be Dak is his look is always super clean as far as he goes with the clear visor, gray tabs, throwback helmet. He always does the slightly baggy, not like baggy, but rolled up a little bit with the wristbands.
Rolled up, yep.
Yeah.
And then with his look, obviously, I wanted to focus on the Jordan 1s he wore for this. And so he's got like a super nice pair. Obviously, he's a Jordan guy, so he's got the Jordan 1s here. Super nice with the navy, with the white. And it's like, it's got that throwback feel that matches the uniforms because they're like, you know, just original, like really cool feeling. And then also a little touch that like clearly was done on purpose. Obviously, here's the cleats. He has the alpha plate on it because that's standard on these Jordan 1s. But pre-game, he came out in a matching pair of turfed versions of the same Jordan 1s, identical, except this like clear blue is like we had this on the Jordan 12 turf versions last year. And so he came out in a turf version of identical cleats, uppers, I guess, for pregame. So like real attention to detail stuff.
Yeah, that's commitment to wear the exact same shoe version of the cleat you're about to put on just for pregame.
Yeah. Dude, that's the joy of being a Jordan athlete, man. They get these cleats, and then they also get the turf version, so they can do, you know, what Dak Prescott just did. So cool.
Yeah. Let's look at the week. Can't wait to see what you guys bring next week. I'm gonna keep my eyes a little more peeled this week. I'm gonna see if I can get someone maybe low profile as my look of the week for next week, because we all had like, I like what Devin did. Devin went with DeAndre Carter, and that's kind of a, like you said, it was an undercard name, if you will. So I'm gonna see if I can do that for next week when we pull out look of the week. But yeah, can't wait to see what you guys bring out for next week. Moving on in the pod, just like we always do, we got to keep things rolling along here. We've got our Q&A where we brought it back for this week because we got some really good question submissions. So shout out to you guys for commenting what you guys wanted to know. And Devin, take it away, man.
Yeah, so we went over to our podcast and we went into the comments to see what questions you guys were asking us. And the one we have chosen to answer for this week is from @JMO-prod. I assume that's short for productions. And the question is, how does the process work for your videos? So this is kind of a vague question. There's a lot of different ways we can answer it because we do a lot of different videos. But for me, I'm gonna answer this question as if I'm doing a what players were on the field video, because that's a popular series you guys really seem to enjoy. So that's kind of the process I'm gonna work through here with you guys right now. So basically, the first thing we do is we pick a player, and we usually do this by going to your guys' comments and seeing what's popular among you guys, because we want to make content that you guys want to see. And we pick a player, and then I begin my research process. So that entails me going through a lot of photos, kind of figuring out what this player is wearing. So I'll go to the team photos. I'll go through every single week's game photos. I'll go through every pregame photo, preseason photos, and just compile a list of every single piece of gear that player wears, and then also collect the photos to use in the video as well. And then I'll build a script going through each piece of equipment, what it is, why they wear it, what colorways they wore it in, where they wore it, or what week they wore it rather, and just give you guys as much information as humanly possible about the equipment. And then what else is next? Think. Then I have to compile all the links for you guys so you guys can go into the description of those videos and directly shop their locker. And then we make a thumbnail, and then we post it. There might be some other important details I'm missing, but that's the overall gist of how we do those videos. What's up?
Yeah. I was going to say, I could add a bit.
Okay, go for it.
And this is kind of like my baby. And that's because, like, we realized, like, last year, like, when stuff was getting busier, like, oh, we need a process to do videos, not just, like, an off-the-cuff thing anymore. And so depending on the type of, you know, because at the end of the day, we have 8 different social channels. Each social channel has multiple different types of content. So YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram can be posts, reels, When we work with companies, we it's very specific as far as we are doing X for you. We are posting carousels, we're posting reels. So we need like metrics and tracking on all this stuff as far as like, this is the live date, this is the kind of post, this is the channel it's going on, here's the first version, all that kind of stuff we have to have. So depending on the type of post, puts it into like a different pipeline of production for us. But the gist of it is like, we have different statuses for a video, and our catch-all status is up next. And so that's like anything we're planning for the future. So, a video will go into like the pipeline. We use Notion to kind of build all this. And so, we have stuff for like, say, for example, Nike for next year that we are planning through July right now, as far as release time. And so we'll put in, release dates. Here's the video concept. And then we have a calendar view. We'll schedule everything in. We'll figure out our 2 videos a week. We'll have multiple videos happening. I'm filming 2 this week for the Monday videos. Devin's films more timely because it's NFL related. But yeah, so video is up next. Then it gets scripted. So most of what Devin just described there is like the scripting process as far as compiling links, photos, all that stuff that like we have to do. And then it kind of gets out of our hands when it switches to filmed. And when it's filmed, it then transitions to our editor and our thumbnail designer. So when it moves statuses, it gets assigned to them. They're given their assignments for the editing of it and all the links, all the B-roll. Thumbnails assigned, and then they come back to us, provide the thumbnail, provide version 1 of the edit, any critiques, version 2. Then it comes back to me, and then it gets posted on whatever channel the pipeline basically dictates that it gets posted to on what date. So stuff's, again, socials. Sometimes we're scheduling socials 2 months in advance. If we do like something with companies, we'll say, here's your 4 videos that you are doing with us. And we'll release 2 a month for 2 months or whatever. And so like some stuff we already have scheduled in January. But yeah, and I'm assuming just because, like you said, his name might be production, that he might be asking about like our actual like video production pipeline.
That's a good point, yeah.
But yeah, so that's something we didn't have a year ago, was any process for dealing with this. But now it's like it's a bona fide assignments, to-do lists. Here's your order per person, where it's going to go, how it gets there, how long it takes you to do each task. Shit's all there now.
Yeah. You guys might just see it as like a 10-minute video you watch while you're, eating lunch or something. But there's so many hours and so many different people that have their hands, on this content, putting it together for you and trying to make it as good as it can be. So, yeah, good stuff.
And when you look at a video like what you two do for Footballrs, it's you see your face, Devin, and you see your face, Tony. That's what people see. So when people watch those videos, I'm willing to bet they don't necessarily think that there is multiple hands in these videos at one time. I'm willing to bet they think, oh, Tony makes his videos, he edits them, he puts them up. Devin makes his videos, he edits them, puts them up. It's a huge process, and that's just what I've learned from the couple weeks that I've been around you guys.
Yeah. But you have to have consistency as far as if you're trying to build some kind of brand. So like Footballrs is an umbrella. Yeah, I'm under the umbrella. Devin's under the umbrella. Big Football Guys is all under the umbrella. So you need something at the top that keeps the branding consistency and the style the same as far as the videos, the content, the thumbnails. It has to work together. So if you looked at the channel, you can very clearly see when I stopped editing our thumbnails to when I brought someone else that was doing our thumbnails to then when I brought in our newest guy that's editing thumbnails. You can see 3 levels of quality, right? Tick, tick, tick. Yep. In our videos, same thing. You can see videos that I edited a year ago to we're on like our 4th editor now, and we're super happy with him, right? Yep. But it's not just it's it's hiring, it's working with them, it's pricing, it's because these people are not free.
Yeah,
like, there is a lot of videos that we lose money on, but it's it's just what it is. But yeah, so we have like technically on like our team now, as far as people, like you might just know of me or you might just know of Devin, but it's me, Evan, Devin, video editor, new sponsorship person, and thumbnail designer.
Yep. There's a lot more that goes into it than meets the eye, man. But it's fun.
Yeah. That's used to be simpler. Used to be a lot more simple.
Yeah.
I would just Devin would give me the footage and I would edit it and I would figure out when it had to go live and stuff. And like It's not the same anymore, but it's way better.
Yeah, no, the more we do it, the better we got. And now it's just such a streamlined process. You know, there's some videos that like Tony isn't even involved in whatsoever. And then he sees it just pop up on the YouTube and it's posted. And it's like, oh, nice, cool. We've got it to that point, and you know, we're only going to keep going up from here. So yeah, good stuff.
I do love when there's a video I have no concept of, I've had no hand in, and there's just a video in my Google Drive folder that I just get to watch and just be like,
yeah,
fuck, that was sick. And then I just like, oh, let's put that out. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great question, Jamo. Jamo.
Yeah.
That's how you say your name.
Leave those. I like those questions.
Yeah. Great question. To make sure you guys
process questions. I like that kind of stuff.
If you guys, have questions like that, comment them on the videos, man. We want to know. We want to know what your questions are. So mainly these two guys can answer them and, make good content out of it. But we also want to know what we also want to see, not just questions, a reminder, submit your drip or skip photos to the Gmail, right? We're going Gmail?
Yep. Yes. BigFootballGuys podcast at gmail.com. Submit your drip photos. We need more. If you guys want us to go through them, we need more submissions. We want to do this. We're like super pumped to see what you guys are bringing to the table. So please submit your stuff. BigFootballGuys podcast at gmail.com. Do it, please, right now.
Yep. Do it. If you don't want to get your feelings hurt, bring your A game. I'm going to keep saying it every single week because I'm going to be harsh about it.
We're not messing around.
That is everything.
Right?
Nope, not at all. Not even a little bit. We take this very seriously. We love this stuff. That was everything from the Week 12 slate. Kind of a slow week. Thanksgiving week. Everyone's sluggish. Everyone's tired. We have to go back to normal life. But, we get to do this podcast every single week, and I'm grateful for it. I know you guys are. I know you guys are grateful for the platform. So let's just continue to keep being awesome and, keep the masses of football equipment heads entertained. What do you say?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Comment your questions for next week and submit drip or skip if you guys want to get your stuff rated.
Do it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Do it.
Peace out, guys.